Welcome back, children, to the next session of our Class 10 History, third chapter, Nationalism in India. Children, before we proceed, we shall have a quick recap of what we have done in our previous video. We had seen what were the consequences of the First World War in our country, how people had to face an epidemic called as influenza, economic hardship, and so on. Then, children, we had seen how Gandhiji came to India and emerged as a new leader who introduced an idea of satyagraha as a tool against the British rule. In the previous video, we had also seen where Gandhiji had experimented with an idea of satyagraha, and it was in Champaran, Kheda, and in Ahmedabad. So, children, there we had seen the basic outline of the national movement, which began after Gandhiji came to India. Now, some major events like non-cooperation movement took place, but for such movement, some incidences, some events culminated the situation. So, which were those events which created a base for the non-cooperation movement that later became a nationwide movement? That is what we are going to see in this part of the chapter Nationalism in India. Those events were the Rowlatt Act, Jallianwala Bagh massacre, and the Khilafat movement. Children, all these three events are interrelated with each other, and that is what we are going to see in this part of the video. Children, a Rowlatt Act was passed in the year 1919. This act was passed by the Imperial Legislative Council despite of many oppositions. Now, what is this Rowlatt Act? The British government passed an act which gave the government a power to repress the political activities, and not only that but also the political leaders who revolted against the British authorities can be arrested and kept in prison without trial for 2 years. This incident took place in the year 1919. Children, whenever a person is arrested by the police, then the person should be produced in front of the judge for a fair judgment within 24 hours. And it is by law. But here, as per the Rowlatt Act, the political leaders were imprisoned without trial for 2 years. That is, whatever the trial took place, it took place after 2 years of imprisonment. And it was an unjust law. Gandhiji opposed this unjust law. Therefore, he launched a hartal, or we can say a Rowlatt Satyagraha, and the date decided was 6th April 1919. Gandhiji's principle was non-violence. So maximum people from different parts of India participated in the non-violent rallies and strikes. The movement was planned and well organized, and therefore it created a worry in the minds of the British. In order to control these rallies, strikes, and so on, the British took various steps. The local leaders were arrested, and one more such incident took place, and that was they fired on a peaceful procession in Amritsar. This provoked the people and they became violent. Though Gandhiji was against such violence, but people who were not trained for such non-violent satyagraha, they got provoked with such incidences. This gave a free hand for the British authorities and they imposed a martial law. General Dyer took the command of this martial law. Now, as per this law, people were not permitted to gather in the public places. But the people in the rural areas were unaware of this law. On 13th April 1919, many villagers they gathered in the Bagh to celebrate the Baisakhi festival. Baisakhi festival is a harvest festival celebrated in Punjab. And at the same time, a peaceful protest against the arrest and the deportation of two local leaders, Satyapal and Saifuddin Kichlu, also took place. General Dyer and his troops entered the Bagh without any information, blocking the main entrance behind them, took the position and with no warning opened the fire on the crowd. For about 10 minutes, people were trying to flee until the ammunition supply was almost exhausted. His soldiers fired 1,650 bullets in 10 minutes and 379 people were killed and about 1,200 were wounded. Children, this is a well that still exists in Jallianwala Bagh. It is said many women, old men and children all jumped into this well to save themselves from the bullet, but all in vain. This incident angered the people who came out on the streets. They clashed with the police and attacked on their properties. This gave the British government a free hand. They responded with brutal repression to terrorize and humiliate the people. Satyagrahis were forced to rub their nose on the ground. They were forced to crawl on the streets and also to do salam, that is, to salute the sahibs or the British officials. People were flogged. Flogged means they were caned, they were beaten, and villages were bombed. Seeing all these incidences taking place, Gandhiji got disturbed. He wanted the protest in a peaceful manner, but now he realized that the people were not trained for such non-violent, non-cooperation movements. And also the movements were not well organized. Hence, Gandhiji called off the movement. Children, here these are the two images. The first one is of General Dyer and second one of Udham Singh. Now children, you must be thinking, who is this Udham Singh? It is not mentioned in your textbook. But I think you should know a little more extra information about our nationalism in India. On 13th March 1940, Udham Singh shot General Dyer at a joint meeting of the East India Association and the Central Asian Society at Caxton Hall in London. He did not flee away from the spot and was arrested for killing him. During his trial, he said he waited for 21 years to kill General Dyer. He said, "Wanted to crush the spirit of people, so I crushed him." Udham Singh was hanged 4 months later. After the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, people wanted to protest against the British government on a large scale and more aggressively. But Gandhiji called off the movement because he wanted the movement wherein both Hindus and Muslims would come together. But now, somewhere the people became more restless. Now, it was the same time when the Khilafat movement was also launched. Children, Khilafat movement was also one of the important movement which was considered to be the base for the non-cooperation movement. And before understanding about the Khilafat movement, you should understand the base of it. The ruler or the emperor of the Ottoman Empire in Turkey was called as a Khalifa. He was not only a political leader but was also a spiritual head of the Islamic world. Turkey was also a part of the First World War, fighting in favor of Germany. Now, with the defeat of Germany, Turkey was also defeated in the First World War. The rumor started spreading that the defeated countries will have to sign a peace treaty. I think the same you have studied in your class 9 in your chapter Nazism, wherein Germany had to sign a humiliating treaty called as a Treaty of Versailles. Now the rumor was a similar treaty would be imposed on the Khalifa of Turkey. He was not only an emperor, as I said earlier, but was also a spiritual head. The Muslim mass worldwide were angry towards the disrespect shown to their Khalifa. They started protesting by launching a Khilafat movement. The impact of the protest could be seen even among the Muslim mass in India. Khilafat Committee was set up in Bombay in March 1919. It was set up by two Ali brothers, that is Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali. The movement was also joined by many Congress leaders, including Mahatma Gandhi, because here they could see a base or a possibility wherein Hindus and Muslims could come together. In the Rowlatt Act protest, there was no proper base, or we can say no proper unity among the Hindus and the Muslims. But here it was a good opportunity to see the unity among the Hindus and Muslims against the British rule. They thought that this movement, that is the Khilafat movement, can launch a nationwide movement. So, a Congress meeting was held in September 1920 in Calcutta session. There, they demanded to launch a full-fledged non-cooperation movement. This non-cooperation movement was against all the events that took place, that is, the unjust Rowlatt Act, the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, and also the Khilafat movement. Yes, children, now it's a quiz time. Quiz to have a quick revision of whatever we have done in our two videos. Just have a small revision with that. Now, the first one, Jallianwala Bagh incidents took place on which day? Was it on 13th April? Was it on 15th August? On 26th January? Or on 10th July? It was on 13th April. Children, what was that day? What was it celebrated for? The day was celebrated for Baisakhi festival. Yes. Now, who devised the idea of Satyagraha? Was it Jawaharlal Nehru, Lord Mountbatten, Chandrasekhar Azad, or Mahatma Gandhi? Children, who brought the idea of Satyagraha in our country? some experiments were also done based on satyagraha in some regions of our country. So who was it? It was Mahatma Gandhi. Yes, right. In which year Mahatma Gandhi went to Ahmedabad? Was it in the year 1916, 1947, 1917, or in the year 1918? Why did Gandhiji go to Ahmedabad? It was for the mill workers' strike. Yes, it was in the year 1918. The Khilafat Committee was set up at Nagpur, Surat, or Bombay, or Nashik. Yes, it was in Bombay. Now children, for whom did Gandhiji organize a Satyagraha movement in Ahmedabad? Was it for cotton mill workers? Was it for peasants or for artisans? It was for cotton mill workers. Why was Rowlatt Act said to be an unjust act? Was it because the political prisoners could not hire their lawyers? Was it because it allowed the detention of the political prisoners without trials? Or was it for the Indian prisoners were tried in European courts? It was because it allowed the detention of the political prisoners without trial. It was for how many years? For 2 years. Yes. That is, for minimum 2 years, no trials took place, right? After the completion of the imprisonment of 2 years, the trials took place. Thank you, children, for a nice quiz time. I hope, children, you have understood, or you can say you had a small recap with whatever we have done. In the next session, we will try to understand about the non-cooperation movement in detail. That is about the non-cooperation movement, how it was launched in the cities, how it was launched in the countrysides, and we will also understand the impact of it. What were the consequences of this non-cooperation movement and what challenges was faced by the non-cooperation movement. Till then, children, take care. Have a good day.